Yes, I remember doing that.
Good. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order the Fishers Board of Zoning Appeals meeting for Wednesday, July 24, 2024. I invite you to please rise and join me in stating the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Secretary, can you please do a roll call?
Yes. Mr. Ferrucci,
Here.
Mr. Grinslade,
Here.
Mr. Sylvie,
Here.
Mr. Stevenson,
Here.
and Mr. Lannon is not yet joined. Thank you. We do have four.
The next order of business is approval of the previous minutes. In light of Mr. Sylvie and Mr. Stevenson not being here last week and Mr. Lannon not yet here, I'd like to move that to the end of the meeting to allow Mr. Lannon to get here so that we can appropriately pass those minutes. So the first public hearing is case VA 24-15, 15636 Malta Way Deck. This is the request for consideration of a development standards variance from section 1.04B6 of the Legacy at Hunters Run PUD and section 3.26B of the city's Unified Development Ordinance to increase the maximum permitted impervious surface from 50% to 53% and to reduce the rear setback from 25 feet to 6 feet for a proposed deck to add more concrete to the driveway. Our petitioner is Mr. John, is it Usek? Osik, thank you, sir. I invite you to please come forward, or actually, why don't you stay where you are and go ahead and present, okay? Is that our protocol? Do we have a podium?
I think it'd be best for him to come up here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Folks, this is the first time we've been here, so we're just trying to feel out ourselves.
So what we're looking for is we want to put it back on the back of the yard. The yard has just a hill. It's about 20 feet that drops downhill down to another flat section that's just common area. Woods behind it. I think there's a creek like way back there, but not in our area. So the deck, in order to hit the levels correctly and not land the step on the hill, it would need to go down to that flat surface, which is at the back of our property, closer to 6 feet off instead of 45 feet off or whatever. So that's really what we're looking for from that perspective. Based on the size of the deck and adding the concrete, makes the pervious land go from 50% to 53%. Concrete.
Go to the next slide.
Yeah, this is the deck. It would come back. You can see how the angle of the hill goes. So if I move it up any, then you're down the hill. Trying to run down the hill and get down there. And then the concrete is the little kitty corners that they put in that you can't cut into the third driveway. Some of the other folks within the neighborhood have the same configuration here. Just with our deck, based on where it sits, and this will make it that secondary. Not much to it, to be honest with you. Just putting the deck in.
Thank you. So I'm going to ask staff to present, and then we may have some questions for you. Okay. Staff? Yeah, why don't you please? Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Gabrielle Heron, and I am one of the senior planners. for the planning and zoning department. So, as the petitioner said, these variances are for 15636 Malta Way, which is generally located west of Cynthia Road and north of Southeastern Parkway, and it is zoned PUDR under the Legacy at Hunters Run PUD. According to the 2040 comp plan, this land is considered a state residential and open space. As petitioner mentioned, the purpose of the variance is to increase the maximum permitted impervious surface area from 50% to 53% and reduce the rear setback from 25 feet to 6 feet for rear deck, and then add additional concrete to the driveway. The increase in impervious surface area only, so it's the deck, it consists of the deck and the part of the driveway that is on the property and not in the right of way. So shown here is the proposed site plan. So you can see the deck in the rear of the yard, and then this one shown here is the proposed driveway plan. So it's just easier to have a different plan to zoom in. So in red is the concrete that will be added to the property. The rest of it is in the right of way and was not included in the impervious surface calculation. And then here's the topography. The blue arrows show where water will most likely flow. And the staff talked to the city stormwater technician, and he didn't see any problems with the increase in impervious surface area because the deck will let the rain soak into the ground directly. So here are the elevations of the proposed rear deck. Then some additional elevations. And then no public comment regarding this request. A member of the HOA and then 2 other neighbors just asked for more information on it, but there were not any concerns. Staff has no recommendation to the Board of Zoning Appeals. Should the board approve this petition, staff recommends it is done with the following conditions. The approval letter and related documentation be reported on the property with the Hamilton County Recorder's Office. Staff is happy to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Before we ask questions of petitioner or staff, I'm going to give Rodney a chance to take a seat if you'd like.
Sorry, my tardiness.
We'll give you a second to get set up.
I'm all set.
He's right.
I am brilliant.
Members of the board, do you have any questions for petitioner or staff at this time? Seeing no questions, I'll open the public hearing. If anyone is here from the public to speak to this petition, please approach the podium. Seeing no one, I'll close the public hearing. Members of the board, do you have a motion?
I make a motion that we approve VA 24-15.
I second with the conditions documented. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so we have a motion, we have a second. Secretary, Mr. Greenslade.
Yes.
Mr. Sylvie,
Yes.
Mr. Stevenson,
Yes.
and Mr. Carucci.
Yes, motion passes. Thank you, sir. Our next order of business is case VA 24-16. The address is 11601 Allisonville Road. The petitioner is Max Convenience Stores LLC. This is a request from consideration of a development standard variance in section 6.17.6E, ground signs located on lots with non-residential uses, to allow digital changeable copy on 2 monument signs in section 6.17.7E, awning and canopy signs to allow digital changeable copy on a fuel station canopy. Our petitioner is Karen Dodge.
So, Ross Hillary, Director of Planning and Zoning. Staff is actually asking for a continuation on this item. This is an ongoing project with our engineering department on taking right away along Allison Mill and 116. We like to finalize that project prior to this going before BZA. So staff is requesting a continuation on behalf of the petitioner.
So, staff is entitled to one continuation as a matter of right. So we will grant that continuation. Was anyone here from the public to speak to this petition? If you're here from the public, please raise your hand. Okay, seeing none.
No, I'm here from the public. I don't.
Are you here to speak?
I do not intend to speak on anything.
Okay. He's not here to speak on the petition, so your continuance, Ross, will be corrected.
Thank you.
And it'll be next month.
Yes.
Any new business? No new business. Secretary, could we move the approval of our last month's minutes until next month?
Absolutely.
Any staff communications?
Welcome to the new building. It's been a long time coming. We're happy to have you here. I'm glad residents found their way up here. We'll continue to work through any issues that we may have, but welcome.
Thank you, Ross. With that, we'll adjourn.